And you can find out more about that at peoplesforpugetsound.org. But here she is, the director, Kathy Fletcher.
Thank you, Pat, and thank you for your attention. I promise to be very brief. Everybody's having such a great time. As our hearts go out to everyone in the Gulf that's experiencing this terrible tragedy, we also need to think about the possibility of what could happen here in Puget Sound. And the bad news is that we are at risk for a major oil spill here in Puget Sound. Every day there are ships in and out of Puget Sound carrying more oil than the Exxon Valdez spill. And a spill would hit the beaches in Puget Sound within hours. We don't have days or weeks to hang around. We have no assurance that, in fact, let me say this more clearly, if there were a major spill in Puget Sound today or next week, we would not be able to mount an effective response. We would have a tragedy on the scale of what is happening in the Gulf. It doesn't have to be this way. I have some postcards here. Postcards to the governor and the legislature. There are a couple simple things they can do to make sure that the oil companies and the shippers are required to have the equipment, the personnel, and the restrictions and regulations to make sure that if there's a spill, we can respond to it. And they also do everything possible to prevent a spill, which is, of course, very important. So I hope you'll sign this card. I'll collect them and take care of mailing them. They're right up here on the table. And I urge you to think about the Gulf and act here locally in Puget Sound to make sure that we never, ever go through what's happening there. If we want orca whales, if we want salmon, if we want a Puget Sound to pass on to our kids, we simply have to be prepared for an oil spill. Thank you very much.
That's Kathy Fletcher. Thanks, Kathy.